Since our first graduation in 1866, it has been the custom at North Central College for a distinguished speaker to send graduates off into the world with words of wisdom and inspiration. It's a daunting occasion. Everyone in the audience is impatient to receive his or her degree or to watch a son, a daughter, spouse, or parent receive their degree. Abraham Lincoln's words at Gettysburg, "The world will little note nor long remember what we say here," are the challenge every commencement speaker faces. Today's speaker is particularly well suited to take on that challenge. He holds a leadership role on a vast global stage, employing his own experience and the talents of thousands of committed Peace Corps volunteers to bring about positive change in countries throughout the world. You will hear more about our speaker in a few minutes, but now it is my great pleasure to introduce Chicago native Aaron S. Williams, Director of the Peace Corps.
Good morning. Now, I can't match the mayor. I don't think there's anybody in America who can match the mayor. That was the most impressive introduction I've ever seen. So I need to take some notes. I'm going to take that back to Washington. We can use that back on the banks of the Potomac. Thank you, President Wilde, not only for this great honor, but also for the extraordinary legacy of leadership you're leaving here at North Central College. Let's all give the President a round of applause on his last commencement. President Wilde, thank you for 22 years of extraordinary leadership. North Central College is fortunate to have had a president with such a long and exceptional tenure. While I'm sure everyone is sad to see you go, we know that you're leaving behind an incredible legacy, sir. And what a great milestone this institution is celebrating today, 150 years. Every member of the North Central College community should be honored and proud to be part of such a rich history. Congratulations to all of you. Of course, I'm delighted to be here today with the mayor, chairman of the board, Steve Heff, members of the board, distinguished faculty, dedicated administrators, and of course, proud parents and siblings. And above all, the remarkable class of 2012. Congratulations. As a son of Illinois, it is wonderful to be back in my home state, on this beautiful campus, and in this magnificent building. What a wonderful building you have here. I'm so proud to be with you today. I'm especially honored to share the stage with Catherine LaPagne, the class of 2012 student speaker. It was such a pleasure to listen to your remarks and the sage wisdom you shared with the graduating class. And I cannot let this opportunity go by without recognizing North Central Student Body President and future Peace Corps volunteer, Emily Rademacher. You know, I was going to bring Emily's letter of invitation with me, but I heard that she was so excited to find out where she was going to go that we sent it to her early. So Emily will soon leave on an exciting assignment in South Africa as a Peace Corps volunteer. We're very pleased to see that. And I know that both Catherine and Emily, as all of you graduating today, will continue to make us all very proud. As a matter of fact, you already have. We know because somewhere during those late nights at Osterley and strolls along the Riverwalk, somewhere between writing for the Chronicle, watching your nationally ranked track team, or your classmates performing at the Wince, listening to WONC, you, the graduates, have absorbed the knowledge and values of this place, and the sense of social responsibility, the dedication to hard work, the commitment to fair play. And as much as your academic coursework, those lessons will serve you well as you go out into the world. Believe me, I personally know a lot about those lessons. I grew up on the south side of Chicago. I was the first person in my family to graduate from college. I studied geography, so I had a notion there was a big world outside of Chicago, and I wanted to explore it. My family, however, had other thoughts. They thought I should do something traditional, become a teacher, an honorable profession, and stay in Chicago. But I was drawn to President Kennedy's appeal to service. I was still very young then, but I remember some of his speeches. No one in my immediate circle or family thought it was a good idea, except for one very important person, and that was my mother, and she had a weighted vote. And I needed that. God bless her soul. I worked in a small town in the Dominican Republic. I helped a large group of rural school teachers to earn their high school degrees. They wanted to improve their teaching techniques and gain access to better job opportunities. I was determined to help them succeed. I became their teacher, their colleague, their friend. My friends, it was an awesome responsibility for someone who was only 20 years of age at the time. And I learned a lesson that has guided and inspired my work ever since. And that is, when people come together for common cause, we together can achieve extraordinary things. I went on to make a career in foreign affairs and diplomacy, in business, and the nonprofit world, including 20 years as a foreign service officer with the United States Agency for International Development, USAID. And now, at this point in my career, I have the great privilege to serve as the director of the United States Peace Corps, an organization that transformed my life. I'm so proud to have this role. In that capacity, I'm also fortunate to work closely with two of North Central's finest graduates, Esther Benjamin, who's here with us today. Esther, please stand, Esther. She is the Director of Global Operations, Africa, Asia, Latin America, Eastern Europe. The folks who work in those regions report to Esther. And then Doreen Andrews. Doreen, please stand up. Doreen is our Chief Information Officer. We stole her from Silicon Valley, and we're really lucky to have her. And let me tell you, they provide extraordinary, innovative leadership at the Peace Corps. We are a better place because we have these two alumni carrying out our mission. Public service. I didn't know it at the time, but what I learned in college started me down a path towards public service and global leadership. And I hope that what you've learned here at North Central will lead you down a similar path. Because for all the ways in which our world has grown closer in this interconnected world of the internet, inequalities are starker than ever before. Did you know that 1 in 7 people also go to bed hungry every night? That here in Illinois, 12% of the people live under the poverty line? If we are to overcome the challenges like these, we need to show you, and you need to show us the way. With the creativity, innovation, idealism, the things that distinguish this generation. In your time at North Central, you've become critical thinkers, question askers, and problem solvers. You also have experienced how meaningful it is to be part of a diverse community, where everyone's differences are respected and valued, and yet you all share a common bond. Just like it was important for you to meet your neighbors and peers across campus, it is equally important for you to get to know your neighbors across the country and around the world through public service. As President Obama has said, you don't have to hold public office to be a public servant. Anyone can do it. In my view, volunteerism also makes good economic sense. According to the Corporation for National and Community Service, volunteers in America provide a powerful economic and social benefit to communities across our nation. With 62 million adults serving almost 8 billion hours of service in thousands of organizations across our country, and these are numbers from 2010. Now, as you can imagine, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't get a plug-in for the Peace Corps, right? I'm going to do that. Because Peace Corps service or experience through another international organization can help you become a global citizen. It fosters cultural agility, a term I've started to use recently. The ability to work effectively and easily across different cultures. It's important for our prosperity in an era of global markets and global workforces. We share a stake in stable, successful economies beyond our borders, and we need to ensure that our people can compete with the best and the brightest talent of the world. And I know we've got the best and the brightest in this room today. It's also important for our humanity and how we respond to challenges in our country and around the world, from income inequality and educational disparities to hunger, climate change, HIV/AIDS, and all the manifestations of poverty and injustice. We need young people like you to be part of the solution to those 21st century challenges. And your generation has already developed tools that mine could not even have imagined. And even with technology at our disposal, it's still the human touch that matters most when it comes to forging the personal connections at the heart of humanity's progress. We all know that Facebook is no substitute for face-to-face friendships and trust. I believe that 140 characters aren't enough to convey the subtle sounds of a foreign language that you have just mastered. And YouTube can't come close to recording all the memories and connections you make when you truly become part of an unfamiliar part of the world community. And as we say in the Peace Corps, there isn't an app for this. Today, America needs talented, connected people with experience interacting in all kinds of settings, empathetic individuals who can see themselves in someone else. These are the very skills that volunteerism and giving back to our community help build, which is why you are going to be so attractive to employers. I think of a young man named Philip, a young Peace Corps volunteer I met in the unlikeliest of places, underneath a bridge in the Philippines. Philip started his career on Wall Street, but there he was in an unfamiliar country trying to help displaced indigenous people who had been displaced by civil strife. They had been forced off their land. They were people of the water. They had lived in fishing villages. They lived on boats. They were forced to live on land now. And Philip worked hard to find health care and education for their children who swarmed around him and who played with him. Under that bridge, in all that misery, Philip built new bridges of understanding and compassion, spanning continents and cultures. And then on another continent, when I visited Macedonia recently, I met a group of female Peace Corps volunteers who were running something called Camp Glow, Girls Leading Our World. In Macedonia, the Albanian Muslim population is extremely isolated. Many of these girls have never traveled outside of their homes. Our volunteers are giving hundreds of these young women the chance to interact with their female peers from other ethnic groups while learning literacy, conflict resolution, and leadership skills. These volunteers I've just mentioned to you are just a few of the more than 9,000 dedicated men and women who serve in the United States Peace Corps in 75 countries around the world. I'm just so proud of all that they do. They are outstanding representatives for America. And then, when they come home, they bring these new skills to them to enrich their communities in countless ways, in careers from education to public health to government, and of course to academia here at North Central College. Like your Dean of Students, Kimberly Sluice, or your Residence Life Area Hall Director, Kate Schmidt, or Associate Professor of Accounting, Jerry Tallman. These are all my compatriots who served in the Peace Corps as I have. The benefit of service is not one exclusive only to the Peace Corps. It doesn't mean you have to go around the world. You can also do it right here in your own backyard. And as you can tell, however, I'm partial to the Peace Corps as an avenue for adventure, for activism, and global citizenship. But I know you can also find other ways to contribute because you're already doing it, from studying in Beijing to working with Haitian orphans during D-term, mentoring and ministering to students in Aurora, and making the uncommon life of social justice common on this wonderful campus. Whatever path you choose, whether it runs through Naperville, New York, Nepal, Peru, Ghana, or South Africa, that is going to be the most important place in the world because you will be there. That's not an invitation to be self-absorbed. In fact, it's just the opposite. It's an exhortation to throw yourselves into your surroundings, with all the passion and purpose you've demonstrated these past 4 years. Because your college brochure, I find out, says there are 2 words that everyone here understands, and that is be central. It talks about emerging into a world of change, challenge, and service, where you can take a central role in work in society and create a positive impact wherever you go. If you make every perspective central to your own, if you treat every viewpoint, every point on the globe with dignity and respect, then I'm confident you'll find solutions to the central challenges of our time, and you will become global citizens, global leaders, no matter where you are and what you're doing. So, ladies and gentlemen of the class of 2012 of North Central, the world is waiting for you. And let me just leave you with one last thought as I close my remarks out. It's a quote from First Lady Michelle Obama, and she said, "I have one more request to make of you, one more challenge. Just keep going, keep giving, keep engaging, and congratulations to you. You're going to do a great job. We need your leadership in this world. Thank you."